All right, you guys, are you ready for this? Am I ready for this? This is my biggest board I have ever skated. So I have right here the anti-hero Grant Taylor. So this is an 8.75 full board, which only helps make these massive blunt kicks feel huger. So I saved this little thing, so it is a full 8.75. Its length is 32.86 and the wheelbase is 14.75, which actually isn't that big. Let's do a quick bit of math here. So a regular deck that I ride is 31 3/4 long and usually has a 14 1/4 wheelbase. So this deck is 1 1/8 inches longer and the wheelbase is only a 1/2 inch longer. Now I've measured the nose, it's 7 1/4, which is only a 1/4 inch longer than most noses I ride, and the tail is still pretty short. I think it was only like 6 5/8. So what that means is that this board actually has a lot of fingers of flat. And I used to think that a lot of deluxe boards had pretty steep kicks. Most deluxe kicks are actually firmly in the medium to sometimes medium mellow. And the only reason that they sometimes feel so steep is because some of the shorter models still have big wheelbases relative to the boards. But this board actually has a fairly short wheelbase relative to the size of this deck. Anyways, that's a ton of talking, you guys. I have this set up on Indy 159s with some 52mm conical fulls, Formula 4. Now these wheels are actually small compared to these trucks, but these are usually way bigger than I like to ride at the conical full. Anyways, I'm gonna take this in for a session at Ultimate tonight, and hopefully somewhere in the course of this video we can get a session in outside. But guys, check out this weather. It has been brutal.
Look at that beautiful Vancouver weather. As far as it goes. Full week. Brutal.
Anyways, I'm pretty excited to try this thing. I have talked a lot. We need no more suspense. Let's get on with it. It looks massive. Are you filming me or?
Yes.
Okay. First try on a 360 flip. Haven't done one of those yet. Big board. That one's not gonna work. Should we try again? Okay, this one's not gonna work. No way. Oh. That's good. Well, that first session was a bit of a surprise to me. I mean, it was pretty easy. I didn't have too much of a hard time doing most of my tricks on it, although that was on like super smooth ground. Can you guys believe that was my son filming? He did a pretty good job. Although he's a little more shaky in these next clips where I wanted to get out and test this out a little more.
such a pig.
That's a dumbbell.
I'll film it from the other side.
You're fat. Now you're skinny.
Okay, so we've established that I can accomplish a lot of my tricks on this skateboard. Now, the next thing I wanted to do was skate some transition for you guys, because I mean, what else am I gonna do on an anti-hero Grant Taylor? Whoa!
I'm okay, but that hurt.
That looks bad.
So if you couldn't tell, while I was filming the exact same tricks at the exact same place for like the 40th time, I hung up on a basic axle stall. So that is the exact same spot that I have done an axle stall on like 1,000 times. And I don't really know what happened. That's skateboarding for you. Sometimes you just get unlucky and eat it. But yeah, I straight hung up and body checked the ground from 5 feet up. I don't recommend it. Okay, now let's get into how this board actually feels. You know what? I think one of the reasons that I hung up is because this thing is just so much bigger than what I'm used to riding that it throws off my muscle memory for my tricks. So that is the number one thing that I found too difficult about this skateboard was the length. At 33 inches long, it was just more than I knew what to do with. You could see me rocket flipping a lot too, right? Like I did very few satisfying kickflips on this board because my regular stance is just too short to actually get my flip tricks off the nose properly. So that was something that I wasn't really able to adjust to. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, the pot feel of this board is actually quite light. And if I had to tell you how this board feels, it kind of feels like a giant full SE. So I've made some videos about the full SEs and they're a very mellow kicked board, you know, and they got that nice full shape like this does. Look at that, I can hide behind this thing. It's so big. But yeah, this board has a real mellow feel and it doesn't feel heavy at all when you're popping your tricks. The other thing that kind of tight wheelbase does, and I know you're like 14 3/4, that's not a tight wheelbase, but on a deck that's 33 inches long, it actually kind of is. What that tightened up wheelbase does is it also makes your turns happen really easy. So one of the tricks that's super easy on a board like this is frontside rocks, because it takes very little energy to push down and get the board off the coping. And all your kick turns happen really fast too, so it would be pretty carvy actually in spite of its long wheelbase. But again, I think I have actually met my match in this. You know, 8.75 is actually just too wide of a skateboard for me. 33 inches is just too long of a skateboard for me. I didn't enjoy this. 8.5, I could skate really well. In fact, I loved 8.5 so much last summer that I thought I was never gonna go back down in board size. It shows how fickle I am. Now I'm loving 8-inch boards again. But my point is, I have a limit. It was 8.5 with a 14.5 wheelbase and 149s. Anything bigger than that just felt off. So back to that slam though, I really did get lucky on that slam. And you know what? I don't think I even want to skate transition, like concrete transition 5 feet or higher anymore. The next time I decide to like stage jump into an emptied bowl, I hope it's like 2 feet tall, 3 feet tall. Anyways, let's get back to something I am comfortable on. So I will admit that this board did feel really nice on that nice little mini ramp. I mean, it was almost a bit too big, but there sure was a lot of board for me to stand on there. Anyways, guys, I'm all done talking about this. We've found my natural limit of skateboards. I hope you found this video useful. If you're a bowl crusher or, you know, some other kind of thing, I guess this 9-inch board will be, it's not even 9 inches, such a baby, 8.75. Finally, you guys, that don't be a baby line applies to me. 8.75, I'm a baby. Anyways, thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you found this video useful. That's all I have to say about big giant boards. Till the next one.